You're listening to the Codependent Millennial Podcast with Sophie Shilo, episode 39, The Fear of Losing Yourself and Being a Whore. Hello, my loves. Happy Black History Month. Before we get started, I think it's important on this episode to issue a trigger warning. I'm going to be discussing some work that I've been doing with a client of mine on her beliefs about what certain behaviors mean about her, namely that she's a whore. It needs to be said that I support sex workers and I support women in making whatever choices feel best for themselves about their own bodies. End of story. If you've ever had someone in your life call you a whore, a slut, a bitch, or if you yourself are actually a sex worker, this episode will be helpful for you, but it will also be triggering. So with all my love, keep listening if you'd like to. I'm about to give you a very intimate look into my work with one of my private clients. We decided that it would be helpful for her to list out all of her judgments about herself regarding this one area of her life. And then we went through each judgment, each indictment of herself, and we connected back to the truth that contradicted the shame story that she was carrying about these judgments. In this process, we're setting her free from the lies she's been believing for years and years and years so that she can decide how she wants to live her life rather than continuing to live it out of fear or shame or guilt or judgment. And of course, this should go without saying, but I just want to make sure that all of you are aware that I got her full permission and consent to share all of these amazing thoughts with all of you. So I'm going to read each judgment now along with how we reframe them. The judgment, I owe him. The truth, I do not owe him a thing. I do not owe him my attention, my time, my smile, my laughter, my care, my love, my body, my focus, my feelings. The truth is that I owe myself these things. Even when I choose to make commitments to people, even when I choose to enter into relationships with people and love them, I still owe myself all of these things first and most and always. The judgment, I can't say no to him. The truth, of course I can. Watch me. I'm going to say no to him and laugh about it later. The judgment, this is a lot of work. The truth, no, it's not. It's a lot of work to entertain a man I don't really want to be with. Plus, I'd rather do the work of saying no than the work of being fake and abandoning myself. The judgment, this is hard. The truth, that's what my fear wants me to believe so that I don't have to feel the vulnerability that comes with being true to myself. The judgment, I don't want to be in a relationship. The truth, good thing I'm just dancing with him, I guess. Good thing I just kissed him, I guess. Good thing I didn't marry him, I guess. Nothing I ever do implies commitment. And even when I do choose to commit to a man, my relationship with myself still always comes first. The judgment, I'm in a cage. The truth, the only cage I'm in is one that I created and that I have the key to. The judgment, I'm locked down. The truth, no such thing. I'm as free as I allow myself to be in my mind. The judgment, there's no way out. The truth, that's simply untrue. I'm going to hold my own hand and show myself the way forward. The judgment, I can't escape. The truth, what is there to escape? The thoughts that make you feel trapped? The obligation to this other person? The obligation that you invented? If only you knew how free you really were. The judgment, I can't leave. The truth, that's a lie. The judgment, I have to be single to follow my dreams. The truth, no relationship, no man is ever powerful enough to stop you from doing that. Only you are, so you can choose otherwise if you want to. The judgment, I can't kiss other people. If I do, then I'm a whore. The truth, you know where this story comes from. It's a story, it's a lie, it's a relic of a wounded person acting out their pain onto you. And you don't have to carry it anymore if you don't want to. The judgment, I'm not allowed to see other people or talk to or be friends with other men. The truth, You're the only one who gets to decide what you're quote unquote allowed to do. Since you make the rules, what do you want them to be? The judgment. Relationships are tiring. The truth. Fighting with yourself and believing lies about yourself is tiring. Freedom from the fight is invigorating. Relationships that occur when you're fighting with yourself are tiring. Relationships that occur when you're on your own side are invigorating. Notice what you tolerate when you're exhausted versus what you choose when you're inspired and invigorated. The judgment. He's going to take me away from focusing on my goals. The truth. Thank God he's nowhere near that powerful. How are you clipping your own wings by believing this story? The judgment. I can't be myself. The truth. You must. The judgment. I won't be able to focus on my life. The truth. You have the power to choose to stop focusing on your life, but you also have the power to choose to continue to prioritize your life and your well-being and your connection to yourself above any relationship you enter into. What do you want to do? The judgment. I won't be able to focus on me. The truth. That's never true. You own your mind always. Don't let yourself forget this. Take this seriously. The judgment. I'm going to please him and lose myself. The truth. If you're afraid of this, then try doing the opposite. I love that one. I love it so much. Oh my gosh. The judgment. I'm going to betray myself while pleasing him. The truth. This would have to be a conscious choice. Do you want to? If not, you're in control of doing something else instead. The judgment. I don't like it. The truth. Trust that. The judgment. I won't be stable. The truth. Who benefits from you believing this? The judgment. It will drain my energy. The truth. Betraying yourself drains your energy. Yes, absolutely. What action here doesn't feel draining? What feels like integrity with yourself rather than betrayal? The judgment. I'm going to be all over the place. The truth. Yes. If you continue to try to meet the needs of whichever boy is in front of you in the moment, you will absolutely be all over the place. Thank God you have the ability to choose yourself instead. The judgment. I won't be able to deal with my emotions. The truth. There is an overwhelming amount of evidence to disprove this. You just need to choose to focus on that and acknowledge it. And even if there weren't this evidence, by the way, you would still be able to walk yourself through any emotion that comes up for you. You have the necessary strength, awareness, love, tools. You can do this. The judgment. I'm going to lose myself. The truth. Only if you decide to. The judgment. I have to be single to follow my dreams. The truth. Do you want to choose to believe this as truth? You get to decide. Untangle the correlation you have between your relationship status and your success in life. When you no longer make your hypothetical future partner responsible for your failure or for your success, you can live your life and invite him in whenever you're both ready. The judgment. I belong to him. The truth. That's a joke. Throw your head back and laugh. Drive off in your black Maserati, leaving anyone who believes that in the dust. The judgment. He owns me now. The truth. Like hell he does. You belong to you. This is not a discussion. What resonated with you in this list? What shame stories and judgments are running your life without your consent? How can you connect back to what is true and in so doing, empower yourself to live your life the way you actually want to live it? I encourage you to spend some time with these questions and feel how much more free and how much more powerful you feel after doing so. And of course, if you're ready to do more of this work in a much deeper and much more structured, high-touch way, come join me. This is what I do all day, every day with my amazing clients. And as you can see, based on this episode, they are changing their lives as a result. Lots of testimonials are on my website if you'd like to read their stories. And I would love to talk with you about what might be possible for you when you choose to fully step into your life and show up in a way that you never have before. I'm extremely intentional about the clients that I work with, so you can fill out the application and schedule a free call with me so that you and I can talk about your life, your specific goals, your codependency healing journey, and to see if we're a perfect fit. To apply and to schedule your free call with me, just click the link in the description of this episode or visit codependentmillennial.com/work with me. I'll talk to you soon, and I hope you have an incredible week. If you liked what you heard on this episode, join me over on Instagram at codependentmillennial for more tips on how to move beyond codependency and build a life you truly love.